There is a saying, a room without books is a room without a soul. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 books that will transform your life. Welcome back to another video. My name is Dom and I help people to step into their truth and power. Ever since I was a child, I always disliked reading. I enjoyed reading short magazine articles, but the only time I read a book was to really reference information. I was never much of a reader. Even in all the years of working in my IT career, books were never read. They were only ever referenced. But after moving into my new home following my divorce back in 2012, I wasn't able to afford cable TV, and because I live in a community, we're not allowed to have aerial antennas on our homes. So I only had cable internet. And because of that, I stopped watching a lot of TV. I basically cut the cord back in 2012. And it was at that time I really began reading more books. And since then, I've accumulated shelves of books that I've loved. Well, today in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 of those books that have made an impact in my life, that have transformed my life, and that I'm sure will transform your life as well. Are you ready? Awesome. Book number 5. The Law of Divine Compensation on Work, Money, and Miracles from Marianne Williamson. If you're a person that has money struggles or you find yourself in worry about having enough money, this book gives pages of golden nuggets. The book will help you to see your work, what you do for a living, from a different perspective. One in which where you are not the only one benefiting from that work in the form of being paid. There are actually many that will benefit from the work that you are doing. And when we make this shift in our awareness from lack into abundance, it opens up the doors to so much more abundance. And not just in money, but more importantly, abundance in time, abundance in energy, and abundance in relationship. One of the things I've learned is how we show up in relationship with our money is often a reflection to how we show up in relationship with ourselves. The need to spend, the need to save, the need to earn, the need to ignore the subject altogether because it just completely stresses you out. The law of divine compensation teaches us how to ask, how to pray, how to be, how to cultivate, and how to receive blessings from God and the universe. It will shift your perspective so that you're not just grinding to earn a paycheck every day, but more living a more purpose-driven, heart-filled life. Really good book. Number 4. From John C. Maxwell, Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. So if you are one of those people wondering why some people move forward in life while you seem stuck, or maybe you are a person that is feeling like nobody listens to you, why don't people listen to me? Maybe they're not because you aren't really connecting with them when you communicate. And that's the focus of this book. You know, talk is cheap. Everybody does it. But our words are powerful. And most people are completely unaware of the impact they're having in their failure to connect with the other person. The premise of the book is connecting is the ability to identify with people and to relate to them in a way that really increases your influence with them. And your ability to connect and connect with others is a major determining factor in reaching your full potential. To be successful, we've got to know how to effectively work and influence others in an empowering kind of way. And to do that at your best, it requires you to connect. In the book, he teaches 5 different connecting principles and 5 connecting practices. And this is beyond the ability to connect with words. It's really about taking initiative, time, effort, appreciation, having openness, more communication, being in positive energy and having enjoyable experiences, feeling a bond, creating a synergy, and creating unconditional love. If you're seeking more of that in your relationships, whether that's at home or at work, this is a really good book to get. I recommend it. Book number 3, Energy Leadership, Transforming Your Workplace and Life from the Core by Bruce Snyder. This book was the seed that led me to becoming a certified master coach. When I read this book, it took everything that I thought I knew about success and it turned it upside down. In this book, Bruce he clearly explains how energy, not money, is the currency of personal and professional success. If you're wanting to change your business or your home from the inside out, this book is gold because you'll see how you are showing up in the world to other people and how that is being reflected back to you in the results that you're experiencing. He teaches you how to make the currency of energy work for you, resulting in improved leadership and stronger relationships both at work and at home. Because this was the first book that I had ever read like this, I was a little bit skeptical, actually a lot skeptical. It's a little bit out there, but I chose to give it a chance. I chose to give what he taught in the book a try, and I was blown away at the results I was experiencing. It worked. It really worked. And I employ these teachings to this day in my own life, and I've paid it forward in sharing this info with many others as well. I got this book about 10 years ago. I've read it a few times, and I often refer back to it. This one is a keeper. Book number 2 is The Code of the Extraordinary Mind by Vishen Lakhiani. Vishen, the author, says this book is not a personal growth book. It's actually a personal disruption book. And I have to say, I agree with him 100%. Like myself, Vishen was a computer programmer for a number of years and worked in the IT industry for some time. And so I was able to really personally relate to his story and experiences. And so that's what hooked me to decide to read the book about changing mindset. But the book goes way beyond that. The Code of the Extraordinary Mind forces you to rethink aspects of your life that may have been running on autopilot for years. After reading this book, I found myself no longer accepting certain aspects of my current reality, certain aspects of my career, my relationships, my goals, even my spiritual beliefs and past decisions. They were all challenged. This book not only disrupted the way that I saw the world, but it gave me the tools to really shift the world through cognitive changes in the mind. And in a way, I experienced what I call a bit of an awakening within my mind. This happened because you can't just unsee a powerful new truth that shatters your old paradigm for living, especially when you can see that the old paradigm isn't working for you anymore. So depending on your worldview, you're either going to love this book or you're going to hate this book. And that's because we grow through our discomfort or our insight. Vishen creates the discomfort and insight by sharing 10 laws to live an extraordinary life. And it's written in 4 parts. Part 1 is living in the culture of the world around you and how you were shaped by it. Part 2 is the awakening, the power to choose your version of the world. Part 3 is recoding yourself and transforming from the inside out. And part 4 is becoming extraordinary and changing the world. The book really made me question everything I thought I knew about life. He teaches how to unlearn all of the bullshit rules that society, culture, and school made you believe, and that have stopped and limited your power. I love this book because it really opened my eyes up to see that I can choose not to have to live at the effect of the world and everything around me, but I can choose to live and be the effect in the world in a very positive way. And by simply breaking free of the culturescape, you begin living an extraordinary life. It's a game-changing book, but a word of warning. If you're not ready to have your beliefs challenged, don't read this book. Don't read it. Fantastic book. The number 1 book, are you ready? The Way of the Spiritual Warrior by Imre Valion. This book actually has a story behind it. My good friend Greg had gone to the Chopra Center in British Columbia, and when he returned, he was sharing with me his experience. And as he shared his experience with me, I was getting this feeling inside of me, and I shared it with him. I said, "Hey dude, I think you're being led down a path to become a spiritual warrior." And he looked at me and his jaw dropped. He went and he showed me this book, and he said, upon leaving the Chopra Center, they had asked him to read it. My eyes opened really wide, and I was having one of those like, holy shit moments. I can't believe this. And as awesome as the experience was to have for Greg, I was realizing that there was something in this for me as well. And so as soon as I got off the call with Greg, I immediately went online and I ordered the book, and I took it with me. I had to fly out to California to attend a coaching retreat that I was scheduled to attend. I read the first half of the book on the way out there, and while I was on the retreat, had a couple of really powerful experiences that themselves it's a crazy story, and I'll save it for another time, but they're crazy because there was so much synchronicity going on that there's just no way all of this could have been by circumstance. No way, just no way. On that trip, I was being divinely led to fully understand the path of becoming a spiritual warrior myself. And so I had these experiences at the retreat, and then on the way home, I read the second half of the book. And I was on the plane ride home reading the book with tears running down my face as I read it, especially after having the experience that I had at the retreat weekend. This book he wrote it in 3 parts: the practical teaching, the universal teaching, and then the inner teaching. The warrior journey begins in the book with a self-assessment. And after taking that initial self-assessment, I thought I was early in the warrior journey. In the book, Imre walked me through describing the 7 great planes of being. And by the end of the book, and after having experienced what I experienced at the retreat weekend, I was in tears on the plane because as I was reading the book, I was having the realization that I wasn't a newbie warrior starting off on the journey. Actually, I've been on this journey for a long, long time. And I was actually a spiritual warrior already, but in denial. The timing in reading this book and having the experiences that I had at the retreat that weekend just blew me away. And so after reading this book, I knew that I knew I was in denial for a long time. And if I wanted to experience the next level of what was to come for me, I needed to begin living these principles more out loud. This book is number 1 for me because it is the book that allowed me to experience complete freedom for the first time in my life, because I was able to come into full awareness and fully embrace and own who I really am, and to have the confidence to live into that fully, in full confidence. The book isn't just to be read though, it's to be experienced. You're going to go on a journey, your own journey, to where your life purpose is, to where your soul is leading you to go. It was a super powerful book that changed my life, and I'm grateful that Greg chose to share his experience with me and share this book. As I've always said, there are no mistakes. And so I'm kind of curious, which of these books would you like to read? Share it in the comments below. And if you have questions, ask. Put them in the comments. I'm happy to share my thoughts and feedback about these books with you. And if you've enjoyed this video today, all I'm asking is for you to pay it forward by sharing it with just one person who you think would benefit from watching this. Caring is sharing. And my goal is for this information to impact as many people as possible. And of course, I invite you to like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be having a lot more videos coming. But until then, until I get to connect with you again on my next video, stay well, stay healthy, and stay empowered.